Welcome to Off the Clock, and I'm your host, Tiffany Draper. Today I'm here with a good friend of mine, Rachel Martinez, who's the owner of Stillness Therapeutic Massage Therapy. Hey girl.
Hey.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Rachel, I'm so glad to see you because I know the last time I saw you was at the Women's Expo last year. Mm-hmm. And I know that we met during the expo a couple years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for this year?
So I know when I first started, I was only 4 months into business.
Okay.
A friend of mine, Elena, she kind of mentioned it to me. She's like, oh, you know, it's an expo, if you've ever heard of it, if you ever wanted to do it. And so I figured once I started my business, it was just a fire that was lit.
Yeah.
You know, so what I really wanted to do was just really go out
mm-hmm.
into the limelight. And
mm-hmm.
I was really excited. It was bright.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm here and I want to do this.
Yeah.
And so because I did that, it was like an excitement.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never stepped out before.
Mm-hmm. So was that your first time like ever vending it? Wow,
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that was my first time.
You killed it. You are a natural. I never knew that was like your first time doing
Yes,
something like that because you just brought it. And you just, I don't know, you had people lined up around the corner for you at the expo. And that was 3 years ago. So we're on year 3 now.
Yes.
I'm excited for you. Can you tell me a little bit more about, I guess, like why you like doing what you do? Like, why is this so fun or important to you?
So I feel like this is something that God called me to do. This is just a purpose that he filled me with. It started when I was 6. Mm-hmm. My mom, she was in the military, and she would come home and she would be sore and she'd be in pain, and I would massage her feet and I would just kind of see the relief come over her.
Right.
And I had, you know, my grandparents, my grandfather, he had had a car accident years prior, and I would help step on his back. I would help relieve his pain as well. And it's just something about pain and discomfort, mm-hmm. and something that in me, is a gift that I want to help heal people.
Sure. So it's safe to say that
mm-hmm.
you like to heal people and that your business is faith-based.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. I know that when I had my first experience with you as far as getting that massage, it was very fulfilling. I felt like it was important for me to invite you into a more private space as well. So that's when I had the Soft Girl Brunch. Yes. And we had such an amazing time that day. And I was able to introduce you to all of my friends. And I was like, look, y'all have got to meet Rachel. This is amazing. She's amazing. Her hands are gifted. She's anointed. Mm-hmm. And because I do all things women related, right?
Yes,
not
ma'am.
to, exclude the men at all, because we love them. We got to have the men, right? But what I do love about you is that you're so personable, right?
Yes,
and that when you meet people, you don't meet strangers. So I was like, y'all got to meet my homegirl. Like, she's amazing. She's great. And so I had been going through a lot. Mm-hmm. And in my going through, I was like, I'm just looking to feel better. And you don't know, but at a pivotal point in my life, you helped me get over one of the most difficult moments that I was going through in my life. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but one day I came to your facility. I had a massage, and I think I cried or wept the whole time. You didn't know, but when I got up, you said, are you okay? Because I could feel something. And I was like, no.
I do
remember that?
I do.
Do you remember because I'm always very cautious about how I make other people feel. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that sometimes, when you're talking to people, you can take on their emotions. So I'm very big about not trying to put whatever my day is on somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to really kind of be closed, but I also wanted to be free in that moment, and I couldn't. But I know that you're prophetic. I know that what you're doing is a gift because you were able to pick up on that. And I don't know if I was just tight or intense. I wasn't able to let go that day. But how do you deal with because I imagine that you just see a number of people that are like that. It's like trying to break down a glass door, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like because you're so gifted, though, that people are more receptive to letting you in. Mm. So I don't know. You just seem like the homie, and you just seem like people are able to just kind of freeing. Do you experience that?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So I discovered that it was a superpower instead of a weakness. I have been told my whole life that I was too sensitive. And I feel like, it has a negative connotation, but I decided to use that and transmute it into something positive. Because with someone who is very highly sensitive, I'm also able to pick up on others.
Right.
And so that's why I can feel someone's pain, or I can feel their discomfort, even if they say it, even if they don't say it, I can just feel it. Why? I don't know.
So that's interesting, because it feels like you could possibly be more than a massage therapist, like maybe a counselor too.
Yes.
I feel like that's part of what you do, because sometimes we don't know that the things that we do are helping heal other people as well. So it's more than just your hands. But I think it's like a lot of gentleness that you bring. And then the fact that you're so nice, right? And you don't really meet a lot of nice people, right, these days. I find that with you, it was such a endearing, a safe space, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a safe space.
That's all I want.
would recommend anybody to you any day. And I know, and I know that your hands are amazing. So, I have kids, you have kids, and so a lot of times what we do is we need a day, right? We need a mommy day, or we need a day where we can just kind of relax and just take the day off. Do you offer certain packages and things like that?
So at certain times of year I do.
Okay.
Right now I do offer, foot scrubs, add-ons and things like hot stones. And you can make that your own spa package.
Right.
I also, I partner up with other businesses who are estheticians.
Okay.
Yes, so I have spa packages in that form, especially during certain times of year, like certain holidays.
I was going to ask you, are any holidays more busier than the others?
It depends. Honestly, it depends on the advertising that I do.
What you decide to do. Okay. So we're really kind of at your mercy about what's going to happen.
May is pretty busy.
For Mother's Day and stuff like that. Okay.
And Teacher Appreciation Week,
Oh,
which I volunteer. Yes.
Look at you.
I volunteer the whole week at all
Honey.
these different schools. I show up with my massage chair and I'm just
Oh my
let's go.
God. And now all the people are up in the uproar because they need you and they want you to come back. So how many schools are you typically visiting? Are you visiting the one school or two?
3 in that week. Yes.
That's good.
Yes, it's good.
So I have a question then.
Yes.
All right. So we can have this conversation, because I know that sometimes the person doing all the taking care of sometimes does not get taken care of. So where do you go? Right. Where do you go to get a massage? How do you let the day off? What do you do to refill and heal, stuff like that?
So stretching. Actually, stretching. Oh my gosh.
Stretching, maybe breathing techniques, stuff like that.
Stretching and breathing is amazing. That it's for me anyway, it fills my cup back up. Some alone time, you know, being quiet, having a quiet space. I like to go out in nature. It's rare, but when I do, I try to be present.
Sure.
And it's in the name, stillness. That's what I'm always seeking.
That's good.
Yes.
All right. That's a good one, because how did you get stillness? Is that biblical? Is that faith?
It is very much so. Oh my gosh, I love telling the story.
Yeah, please, because I want to know. And you told me that you had a story for me.
I did. So when I decided to finally start my business, I was freaking out because I was like, I don't have a name. I got the space. I got I didn't get the license yet, because you got to have the name. Right. But I was like, what is my name going to be? And I thought, oh, should I go with, my initials, RM? What can I fit with RM? And I was just freaking out, and nothing fit. Yeah. Nothing sounded right. Right. And so one day I just said, God, I need you. Right. Please give me a name, something. I don't know what to call myself. This is what you've called me to do. Sure. Just tell me. Right. So. And all you got to do is call him. So I remember I took a nap. And I feel like I took that nap after I'd asked him with the intent to wake up and it's going to happen. Right. And that's when it happened. Really? Yes, I'm telling you. Okay, so I went to sleep and I just remember clouds in my dream. And I was above the clouds, like I transcended. And just... In your dream? Yes, in my dream. Okay. And above the clouds, it was like a whisper, but I also saw the words, and it was in cursive. it said stillness. That was
Wow.
it. That was it, and that was all. And I just remember I kid you not, this is just it. That's just the way it came. The way that God blessed my hands to do what I do and to give me the purpose to help others is the same way he gave me this
So
name.
that's it. When you woke up, you was like, okay, this is the name. You didn't have any second thoughts about maybe I should name it Pauseness or, whatever. Like you didn't come up with anything else. It
No.
was like, it was spot on stillness.
Yes.
I love that for you.
I'm serious.
Because honestly, it felt like when I had my massage with you, that it was like the time was at a standstill, honestly. It was just like me and you. And it was just like kind of like me and my thoughts, it was in a good, happy space. And so I welcome the idea of being able to relax. It's a comfortable space.
Yes.
And I am an advocate for women, especially because, that's my jam. But I'm an advocate for anybody wanting to do more to take care of themselves.
Yes.
We don't realize how much we carry, like here, in certain parts of our body, even our knees. And I didn't realize that until I was able to successfully lose, a lot of weight. And
You look good, by the way.
Thank you, girl. You sent me a picture, and I looked at it, and I was looking at the picture like, wow, look at us. And it's amazing how things can change in a year. Right?
Yes.
And I welcome the idea of being able to get back to a good place, especially with somebody like yourself who understands how important and comfortable, we should be trying to make each other. So
Yes.
I want you to, get back to that place to where, one, you find your own massage therapy because you need to
Yes.
feel what we're feeling.
Yes.
Now, you may not feel exactly what we're feeling because these hands have magic and we need to get you like some special gloves so that we can take
Yes.
care of those things for
Yes.
you. But I also want you to know that it's important that, we both are accountable as far as you're telling us what we need to do, but I want to tell you that the same, that, hey, find somebody to love on you as far as taking care of your back, your mind, your body, your soul, because that thing is important too.
Yes.
So
I actually do have a massage therapist.
okay, well, you didn't say that. You left that out.
I know. So his name is Justin Franklin.
Okay.
Shout out to Justin.
Shout out to Justin.
He's really good. He's actually another therapist and a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Who also assists me in my couples massages.
Okay.
So whenever anyone signs up for a couples massage.
Massages, that's good.
Yes.
I didn't know you did that.
Yes. Oh, yes, honey.
I'll be in touch.
Yes.
That's really good. All right.
Yes.
So I guess for me, I just want to make sure that I'm touching on all the things because I feel like you had a story for me and I want to know what that is. You want to tell me about it?
Well, you did ask me, you said, what am I looking forward to this year? So
For the Women's Expo?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Because you always come with something big,
Yes.
right? And it's always different.
Yes.
And I like to see that. But it's so many of y'all that sometimes I don't get a chance to walk around the
it
room.
really is.
Yeah. It just keeps growing. It gets bigger and bigger every
I
year.
have to tell you though that's so smart. I love that you did that because when I first did it, the third annual third Women's Expo. Yes, it was so fast.
Yeah.
When I went, I didn't, I was excited. I think I had like 30 minutes left.
Well, yeah.
And so I was trying to see people, meet people, but it wasn't enough time.
Yeah.
And then, last year when you had, we got to meet people at the different
the mixer, yeah.
and the brunches and things like that. That
Yeah.
was really great because we got to really meet.
And that's the whole point, is one day wasn't enough. But when you add in and incorporate all the other days so that one, you could mix and mingle and you don't have to be a vendor. You network that Thursday. Friday, we have something this year as well. Saturday is the exhibit day. And then Sunday is where you really get refilled at the brunch. And so for me, I wanted to make sure that you guys were able to experience everything that God had given me as far as the vision. And so
Yes.
I feel like I succeeded at that.
You did.
And I feel like it's going to be more than huge, bigger and better. It's always all that every year.
And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I understand today we're going to do something. I'm
Yes.
excited. And I just want to make sure that I'm saying this right. All right, so we're going to do an interactive hands-on. You're going to teach me.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna give you some tips.
All right. So stay tuned. We'll be back with Rachel in just a bit. you're chasing your dreams, making an impact, or just doing something amazing, we want to hear from you. We're looking for passionate, unique voices to be featured on Off the Clock. Visit the link below to apply. Don't just watch the show, be in it. Welcome back to Off the Clock. I'm still in the studio with Rachel, the owner of Stillness Massage Therapy, and she's going to show us some different techniques and things that she uses with her business. So, Rachel, while we're talking and while you're showing us, I just want to have like a conversation with you about different things. So, can you tell me like what you did before you got into like your gift, your calling, your purpose?
So before I decided to listen to God, I was in food. So I did food for about 10 years before I finally, yes.
Really?
Before I finally graduated and took the MBLEX and just said, you know what, this is it.
Yeah. Sometimes we find that our calling is when we're doing something that we kind of know we're not, like maybe we aren't happy, or maybe we know it doesn't really serve us. And so that's really good to know. I also, for my own personal, I always wanted to know how to properly take care of somebody's back. Like, you know, you've heard people say, hey, can you give me a massage, or do you mind rubbing on my back? So I'm so glad that we have you here today so that you can show us how to properly do that. Just some key pressure points or maybe some recommendations. So what do you look for? Like, what are some things that you, I guess, kind of hone in on when you start or before you do the massage?
Well, I had some eucalyptus in my hands earlier. Usually, before I start the session, I tell them to take 3 deep breaths. That way, their body can fully decompress.
Right. So you get them all good and relaxed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then I start to do some deep compressions. That way, I can kind of see where, you know, where the tension is, where they're holding all that stress or their pain.
Right.
I do, before they get on the table, I ask them, you know, why are they here? You know, where are they holding their stress?
Right.
What, you know, what's going on?
Do, maybe. Okay.
And 9 times out of 10, it's not always where it is. I say, oh, my hip hurts. Okay, well, it's probably coming from the neck, you know, and it's probably on that side.
So posture and all that, what they do, how they sleep at night plays a big purpose.
Driving.
Or a big, driving. Oh, wow. So, I think I sit up straight, so my back, that's probably why my back hurts, because I'm just up and down. So.
I think what it is a lot of people don't realize that proper body mechanics is very, very important. And so like having to, you know, have your posture a certain way and having to engage your core all the time.
Right.
And, you know, it can be very uncomfortable if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
I will say that my school, when I was in class, they would let us practice on our classmates.
Okay.
And there were a few classes where they would blindfold us. So we didn't, you know, we can't really see, you know, so you would have to feel more with your hands to find out.
Oh, so you're blindfolded while giving the massage.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
So you can kind of find where it is, because you can't always see it on the skin.
So this is an art form, really and truly.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, this is an art form because, I mean, so instead of like painting on the canvas, you're kind of like using your fingers to kind of imagine, like, you know, the art on this person's anatomy, their back, like where it hurts. And so can you feel that, I guess?
Yes, and I actually, as I'm feeling it, I kind of want you as well to feel this. So you just take the palm of your hands. You can just kind of just go along here and just feel how tight that is.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what I'm feeling for, but something feels tight.
You want to do it just a little bit more? Just kind of let your hands melt to, yes. Do you
Okay.
feel how tight that is?
I do.
Okay, a lot of people carry their stress in their lower back and in their shoulders. That's
Okay.
why, we start with the head anyway.
Okay.
But upon touching, I feel like it's more here. You can also tell that the way that he's positioned, it's more,
Tense.
yes. So, funny thing is, in school, they also, one class, they let us go out in public, and we called it people watching. So we would sit on a bench
And watch people.
and we would see how this person is standing, or how's this person walking, or are they tilted a certain way. So it kind of got us to, when I'm doing an intake form with somebody, I can already see before they tell me.
Where it hurts.
Yes, where it hurts, or
there
how
might
they're
be pain.
standing, or maybe they are hurting here, but they don't notice that they're tilted this way.
Yeah.
And so that means part of their spine is,
Let me tell you something. I overcompensated for a knee injury that I had for a very long time because it hurt when I would walk. So what I do is I put more pressure on the other knee that wasn't hurting. And then I realized when I went to therapy
Yes.
that pain that I was carrying was not in the knee that was hurting, but it was on the other side of my body for compensating.
Yep.
So that makes
That's
a lot
very
of sense.
common.
Yeah.
it's very, very common. I will tell you, so I know that you're not a licensed massage therapist,
Yeah, I'm not.
but I do find that massage guns help a lot.
Okay. And is that something you can get anywhere?
Yes, I would get a good one. I think the thing about massage guns, though, is that if you don't know how to use it, it can be very dangerous.
Okay.
Obviously never on bone.
Sure. Never on bone. So
Never.
if you're using a massage gun, you're going to use it, I guess, on the muscle?
Yes.
Okay.
On the muscle.
And how do you tell where a muscle is and where a bone is, I guess?
Well, I mean, you can feel it.
Is that where you had me feel for like the pain?
Yes.
Or where he was tight? I
Yes,
guess?
ma'am.
Okay.
So all this is muscle right here,
Okay,
right?
okay.
But obviously you know that this is his shoulder.
Sure.
Right here is the blade.
Right. So
Right.
don't hit it there.
So don't hit
Okay.
it there. That's more so of, where the hand goes. Mm-hmm. That's how I get in there. I use my palm. Mm-hmm. And so let's say, your son is like, Mom, my back hurts, my neck, I need help.
Yeah.
Something, anything.
Right.
You want to try to, are you double jointed at all? Do you know?
I'm not.
Okay, so that's great.
Yeah.
So that's great. So people usually who are hypermobile that do massage, it can be a little bit dangerous because they can hyperextend. They can go over the limit of what their muscle can handle.
Okay.
And that can be dangerous. And
Right.
it can be very painful.
Right.
So since you don't have that problem, then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
I know stretching helps a lot.
Okay.
So what we can do with him is, I'm going to grab you here, put that there, yes. And then you can always just kind of, what I like to do is kind of like make sure they're a little bit loose. Because, sometimes they can be kind of stiff, still being on a table.
Do you find that there's a difference between the men and the women as far as who's more stiffer?
No, ma'am.
It's the
No.
same. That's good to know.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. And I grab it, so I'll grab his arm right here. And you just want to be as loose as you can, sir. Just be very calm and kind of keep yourself breathing. And see, I interlock my hands like this, one of my favorite moves. And I try to get close to the shoulder and the neck, and I like to stretch. Right? Just stretch. And then I like to lock in and have this pinning him down. And we're just going to, work on mobility.
So what you're doing right now is beneficial to the shoulder, I guess, right
And
now?
the neck as well.
And
yes,
the
ma'am.
neck. Okay.
And then, of course, a lot of the time, what will happen is a lot of people are holding their tension in their armpits. So you can, so I think he's ticklish.
Right.
Which
Tickle
is also
them some more.
Yes, it's another indication that they're holding stress there.
Okay.
Sometimes your body will react
Differently.
yes.
Yeah.
and confuse it with being ticklish.
That's interesting.
So I think stretching, you can do a lot of stretching on someone and even yourself. You can
I was
help with
going to
that.
ask you, how important is stretching?
Oh, stretching is so important.
Okay. So it's essential. So we should be stretching every day.
So if you want to think about your muscles like a big rubber band, okay, so have you ever touched an old rubber band?
Yes. It's very loose.
Doesn't
have any elasticity.
Yes, and it gets dry.
Yes.
And so whenever you try to use it, it just snaps.
Oh, man. So I'm
That's
old and
us.
dry.
No.
I'm just playing.
No. I think it's just, you have to use it.
Right.
You have to use your body. You have to keep moving
Yeah.
and practice mobility.
Okay.
Because after a while, you do get stiff. Life does get hard. It does manifest into stress, and it does manifest in the body in some places. So it's really hard to remember yourself.
Right. That's
and stretching 15 minutes every day at least.
Yeah, to
just
help.
to kind of loosen up all the places that are already. Because if you don't, let's just say you don't, it's just a repetitive injury every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
So, yeah.
Well, I thank you so much for coming on today.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you for the demonstration. I didn't even realize, how these particular moves can help us and, make us feel better. Rachel, can you tell us how people can get in touch with you to book a massage or just for a consultation?
Yes. So you can find me on www.stillnesstherapeuticmassage.llc.com. I also have a Facebook as well as Instagram, and it also links to my website as well. And you can always text that number as well. That's the best way to come in contact with me.
Okay, so texting is better?
Yes, texting is way better.
Very
yes.
good, very good. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yes, ma'am.
We enjoyed you, and I thoroughly I've learned a lot. So you all, thank you for joining us, and join us next week to see who's off the clock.